Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another New Fathom training. We are talking about Microsoft Teams, and this is part 3. Today, we are going to tackle Teams and channels. And so I hope you like it. I hope you've been using Teams and have enjoyed it so far. And we'll just take a little bit deeper dive into Teams and channels. Here we go. So we've already talked about activities, chats, and now we're on to Teams right here. And so this is the namesake of Teams and how this whole thing is set up. And this is really cool. So this is going to show you, when you click on this icon, it's going to show you all the teams that you're a part of. If there are public teams that you can join, you will see them here. Let's see if there's any public teams. There are no public teams. But if you go down here, join or create a team, that's where you would see any public teams if they're there. You can also create a team unless your admin uh, has turned this off, then you won't see that. But you could create a team right here, build a team from scratch. You can choose if it's a private team, which means people have to be asked to join it, or a public team, which means anyone in the organization can join it. And so you could go through those steps and create your own team. The other thing that teams have, so teams have these all these icons. You can hide a team if you don't want to see it, and then you'll get little drop downs. And so teams that you haven't hidden, there's only one team here. Well, actually, yeah, so there's only one team there. So that's why it's under hidden teams. But if you want to show that team, you can see now it turned into right there under your team. So let's actually create a quick team. It's going to be a private team, test 2 team right here. It's creating the team. Hey, and they congratulate you. Good job. So we created a team. So now I'm going to hide this one, and then you can see that your hidden teams are going to be down here. And so that way only the ones that you want to be interested in following are going to be up at the top here. So this is the team, and you can see the initials next to it. And then these down here, general and project so and so, are channels of that team. So you can click on this test team, and this is the general conversation in this channel of the team. And then this would be a more specific conversation just about this project or something like that. And so that is that. So in this, just like in the chat, up here you have the conversation or the posts. You also have files, and then you also have a new one, which is called the wiki. This isn't always there, but it's there by default, so it's likely that you have it. But this can just help you show people what is this channel about and what do you need to know in order to work effectively on this channel. And this is some place that you can place notes that the team needs to reference over and over again. So you could say, this is how we do something. So there you go. I don't know what you would want to put in here, but you can basically just help people understand why they would want to do that. You also have this plus sign where you can add certain apps. So you could add a SharePoint document library. You can add an Excel file. And this is one that we do. We have Excel files. So like if you need to see the current asset list or something, you could put it right there. We also have Planner, which is like a project management type app, and task list app. So you could reference that there. And you can really add, if you just look down here, there are a zillion apps that you can add to it, which is pretty cool. So lots of project management apps. So anyway, and you can also just do a website. So you could just link to any application or website that you wanted to. So that's really handy. And then that stays at the top. And so anyone that's working on something, you could just make the website right there for them so that they could stay working right in Teams. So if you are in Teams, once again, here is the channel that you're in. If you're starting a conversation, hey, Harrison. So if you're in a channel and you want to mention Harrison, and you actually want Harrison to be notified that he is there, then you should you need to use this @ sign, and then it pulls up all the people that you could message. And what you should do right there is you should say Harrison Womack right there. And what that does is that will notify him up in his activity and with a little pop-up here when he is notified. And I'll show you what that looks like from another user here. So if we're in the channel, I'm just going to notify @test user. There you go. So we got the notification because Harrison mentioned us in there, and this is our name. You can also, from the @ you can mention the whole team. So if you want to say, hey team, we all need to know about this thing, you could go right there, and then that would notify everyone that's on the team. You can also notify the channel, and that would just be everyone that's following this channel. So it's a little bit smaller in scope. So anyway, that's cool. So, and then just like chat, you have all the features down here that you could add. You don't have the urgency. So if something is urgent, you have to message that one-on-one. You can't put it in a Teams channel. From here, also, you can start a meeting. Oh, which I actually missed that on the last one. But you can start a meeting and set this up. So like if everyone in your team just needed to get together real quick, you could just say, hey, let's meet now. And in that, it's really neat. So you can mute yourself. There you go. You can share your screen just like you could on the chat, or you could choose to do a whiteboard, which is kind of fun. So their whiteboard app is pretty neat functionality, but it just allows you to draw things so that you can pretend you're using a whiteboard. So there you go. Another thing about this, you can record your Teams meeting. So if we wanted to have a double recording of this, I can just say start recording, and it's going to record this whole meeting, and then when you're done with it, you can stop the recording. So there you go. Whiteboard will not be recorded. Okay, so that's coming soon. There you go. And they said you're recording, let everyone know they're being recorded, so you should tell people. That is pretty nice. Another thing, you can show what devices you're using. So you can see right here, this is my audio, this is my speaker. I'm not sure how that's different. Oh, this is the main device that I'm using, and then specifically the microphone down here and the speaker. And you can see the testing of your volume right there. And then the camera, I don't have a camera, so that's why it says none. You can also go full screen if you wanted the meeting to take up the whole space. So that's pretty snazzy. And then we got to find a way to get out. Exit full screen. And then live captions. That's cool. So apparently that's going to notify you if someone else is speaking in the meeting. I'm the only one here, so that won't work. And then turn off incoming video. So if you wanted to turn off other people's videos in here, you could do that since you're the speaker. You can also open a chat feature. So you can chat the whole team, hey team, and that chat is going to show up in the meeting conversation. And you can also show who's participating and who you would like to add to that. And then to hang up, you just click that button. And there you go. And then what's going to happen is this recording has stopped. And right now it's saving the video. So once this video is done, there will be a link to it right here. So this is super handy. If you are doing in HR and you are training people on how to do new tasks, you can just record that video. And if they have any questions, instead of asking you the questions, oh, how did you get to that one place again? Well, guess what? It's recorded. So they can just watch the video and you don't have to explain yourself again. Not only that, but once you've created one video for one person, you can just have that video played again. So super handy. It also adds it's a personal touch but automation, so you can show them one time and record it, but then after that they can just watch the video and they're good to go. So super handy. I really like that feature. It's for the meetings right there. Let's see what else was there. Oh, you could also add a subject for the meeting, but I forgot to do that. So that is cool. Another thing that I didn't mention is that these channels up here, so sometimes you can have a ton of channels, and if you need to add a channel, you can click on these three control options right here, and you can add another channel. So different project or limited scope. You can also make this a private channel. So this channel you could set it to private, and then only people that you specify can access that channel. So if you just leave it at standard, it's open to anyone that is on this test team. They can access it. But you can further limit the accessibility by making it private and then specifying who you want to add. So anyway, I'm just going to use the standard channel or standard accessibility, and then I'm clicking add. And there you go. Here it is. So you have a new channel now. And what you can do with these channels, it's really neat. So you can choose to hide a channel. So if you don't care about this other project, you can just hide it, and then it will not show up, and it's going to be right here in this hidden channel. And you can see these are the hidden channels. If you want to show it, you can click show it, and it'll start pulling up. You can also change your notifications for a channel. So if you are, this channel just gets bombarded with information that doesn't pertain to you, you can change your notifications in there. And so here are the notifications. All new posts. Do you want to be notified every time there's a post? Yes, I want to show a banner and the feed and all replies. So if you're like the owner of this project, maybe that would be appropriate for you. That would be a lot of notifications. Channel mentions. How do you want to be notified if you're mentioned in a channel? You can just turn it off. So if you're like, I don't even want to follow that channel, I'm just going to turn off my mentions. And then if you forget what you set it to, you can just reset it to default, and it'll put it the way it was. So let's see. That's about. Oh, and you can also pin a particular channel, and then it's going to show up here. So you have your pin channels, your teams with channels below it, and then hidden teams. So that is pretty nifty. That's just another way that you can sort and prioritize the most important things for you so that you can pay attention to those. So that is definitely handy. I would do that whenever you need to. Another neat item is each channel can have a different email address. So if I click on this and I say I want to get the email address for this channel, it's going to do its little loop-de-loop deal, and then it's going to get us a unique email address for this channel. It's right there. So if we email that email address, it's going to go into this particular folder. So that is really useful if you're trying to assimilate documents, or you want to be able to mention the channel from an email and bring that email conversation into here. That's really handy. You can totally do that. Definitely like that. And then you can add connectors. I would probably just leave this alone for now. That would be more advanced. We won't go into that. And you can also delete the channel. And here's a link to the channel. So you can share a link to the channel, but people won't be able to access that link unless they're part of that team. So anyway, but also just like the other ones, I know we talked about this, but it's a little bit different than your chat files. So this includes all of the files that are for this channel. So if you want to add a new document, or a Word document or a folder, you can just click on create test folder, and then you want to add a Word document, I don't know, something. You can create those documents, and then Microsoft Teams will actually open it right here Oh, be quiet. Right here, and you can type it, and it's gonna live save it. And you can also, from this document, you can start a conversation about this document. So anyone that's on this team, you guys can have a conversation while you're both editing this document. Really cool. And and then what happens? So after you start a conversation about this document, you can go back to the posts, and that conversation is now in the channel, and that document is linked right there. So it's super handy. It's really easy to collaborate with people on these documents, and it works with all kinds of documents. You can have any type of document in here, and you can start a conversation about it, and then it brings it to the forefront of the conversation so that people can see, oh, that's the document you're talking about. That is great. Thank you. Another really neat feature is this thing called sync. And when you click this, it will actually sync this folder through OneDrive onto your computer. So it's going to say, hey, do you want to sync this? And I'm actually not going to sync it and show you what it looks like. But it basically will look just like any other folder on your computer. And you'll be able to see those documents. You'll be able to open it from your computer. Another thing, just to look at these documents some more, sometimes using the web-based browser version of Word or Excel isn't the best. And so I would recommend you click on this and say open in the desktop app. And so it's going to open it in Word, just like here. Just take some time. I'm editing in Word. Yay. So that's great. So then I'm just going to close it. I'm going to close it here. And you can see the changes are already in there real time. Like it works really fast. You could also choose to open this in a browser if you wanted to, but I don't think that's really necessary. So there you go. You could also, up here, you can click open in SharePoint, and then this would open this folder in the SharePoint site through a browser. So that's another way that you could see it web-based. So there you go. That is an overview of the teams and channels in Microsoft Teams. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. And really, I hope that you can use this tool to be more effective with your collaborators. And I hope you'll continue to use it even when you're not quarantined.